Hey folks, John with Complete Technology Solutions, your friend in the computer business. All right guys, so in our seemingly endless quest for our ultimate retro game computer, our friends at GMKTec, man, they went a little overboard. Check this thing out. Yeah, guys, remember what I said we were going to try to set our target price range with everything, including the controllers, at about, $150 or so. Well, GMKTec, when I called these guys up, they said, look, we have something that will solve all your problems for emulation, but you need a little more boost. This is their idea of a little more boost. This is the GMKTec NucBox7. This supports, guys, listen to the specs on this. This is an Intel Pro N100, 3.4 gigahertz, wait for it, 12 gigs of DDR5 RAM, wait for it, and a pre-installed 1 terabyte M.2 drive. Now, granted, the fact that it's got the 1 terabyte already installed does mean that it's less for us to actually have to install to make our perfect system, because we're adding a 1 terabyte drive. You guys will remember that. And we'll be using this one to test out the system. That's actually a copy of the image. Once again, guys, if you want that image or you want one of the game systems, let me know and we'll get you taken care of. But in the meantime, let's crack this thing open. I love these guys. I really do. I've talked to them several times now through emails, and they're responsive. I mean, if you have questions, they answer very, very quickly. And to me, that's a big thing, especially in this business. You know how it is. Everything is so disposable or fire and forget. Well, these guys actually care. At least it seems that way. So, all right, cracking this open here. And let's see what we get in the box. Ooh, guys, that is very, very small and really nice. All right, taking her out here. Okay, it is light, guys, and I mean light. Okay, so you know that is the typical A4 that we're using right there. And if you put it side by side, look at the difference in size on the systems. I mean, literally, that is probably a half of the size of that other system. As far as thickness, almost identical. So, it's a whole lot smaller as far as the package goes. I mean, that is unbelievably small. Looking at your inputs on this, we got our power button on this side. On this side, we've got 3 USBs. Now, I really like that, guys, because our game system tends to use, well, you can use up to 4 controllers, but the adapter that you use to plug in the receiver for the controllers, if you have 2 of them on top of each other, they tend to push apart. So the fact that you've got 3 side by side means you could have one there and one there without interfering with each other. That's actually kind of cool. All right, coming around, we've got 2 gigabit LAN ports. 2. Can we say overkill? I'm thinking overkill, but we'll see. All right. It looks like we do have active cooling on it, which is something I like. I haven't verified that yet. We'll get to that here in just a second. Type-C is for charging. We've got our headphone jack over here. On the back here, you've got 2 HDMI ports and 1 display port. Can you say overkill? Guys, this thing is wonderful, and I haven't even turned it on yet. I love this. So, and light. I can't get over that size, and I cannot get over how light that thing is. But let's see what else we get in the box here. All right, cracking down here. Got our user's manual. And it looks like it is a 1-sheet. Packaged nicely, guys. Look at that. It is really slick looking. But it looks like the user manual is actually a 1-sheet or maybe a little book. Oh, I got a little book here. Yeah, plug it in, turn it on. You got a couple different languages. Yep, a couple different languages. Can any of you guys read that? Okay, well, I can't, so. All right. Further down in the box here, looks like we are going to have a, ooh, that came out all on its own. All right, ooh, crazy. So we've got a Type-C adapter. This is a standard Type-C plug. Looks like it is 12 volt, and it looks like 3 amp. Yeah, 12 volt, 3 amp control, which is nice. Now, that's one thing I do like, guys. Since that's a standard Type-C and not a barrel connector like our other one, that means your choice of chargers is going to be a little bit higher, which is great. So this does come with an HDMI cable. That is another advantage. The fact that this comes with one, and is that HDMI or DisplayPort? Let's see. It is HDMI. HDMI. That is huge because whenever we build our game systems, we have to add in an HDMI cable, which adds another, $2 to $5 in cost. So pretty cool. I like that. And it looks like you've got a wall mounting bracket. We will not be wall mounting, although we probably could in like an arcade 1-up. And you got a really slick looking card. I'm assuming this is for warranty information. Yep. And everything else. This is really nice, guys. So, you get to change the color of the top. Look at that. So you can go from black to red. All right. Okay. It's aesthetic. I love it. Options, right? That's what life is all about, is options. Tell you what, I'm going to clear the desk and I'm going to take this apart. Let's see what's in it. For something so small, I can almost hold the whole thing in my hand. You can't see it. Let's see what it actually has. Here we go. All right, guys, so let me tell you what we're going to do. I thought about this in my head. Something was driving me crazy. So we're using 2280 M.2s, okay? These are 2280 SSDs right here. But if you look at that, dude, that is literally the length of that machine. And I mean, like, literally, check that out. It is the entire length of the NucBox, almost exactly square. So I'm wondering if they're not using 2242s in this instead of 2280s. If they are, it's okay because the port would be compatible. But obviously this would, it would fit, but it wouldn't stay there because it would be too long and whatever. But that's not going to affect our testing today because whether it works or not, we're still going to be able to check out the machine. So I want to start by cracking open the top here, guys, because this thing is really, really cool. There we go. And there we go. And just like I thought, I knew it. Guys, looking at that closely, look at that. That is a 2242 SSD, and hopefully Stumpy's focusing on that. Problem? No. Annoying a little bit for my purposes, but to be that small, guys, it almost had to be. I knew that. So we should still be able to test it, but as you can see, you've got your 2242 right here. Now, to pull the bottom off, we've got 4 screws, 1 on each foot. Let me pull them off. We'll be right back. So what I've got here, guys, when you pull the little feet out, they actually have little rubber grommets around them, and you just saw that screw go through that. So that little rubber grommet is actually the foot that goes down onto the bottom of the machine. So don't lose those little rubber grommets. All right, we got her pulled apart. Let's open it up. Okay, that is the first thing we really, really, really extra super wanted to see. That is an active cooling fan on the processor. Now, we can't see too much below that because this is all kind of one unit on this side. But this is huge, guys. Once again, when you're playing high graphics games, you got to have cooling because they're going to get hot, especially over time. And given the fact that there's not a whole lot more that we can see on this, I'm going to button this back up. I want to try this 2 ways, guys. First, I want to boot this up with our game system. I know, you're going to laugh at me, but I'll show you how we're going to have to do that. And it is going to be creative. Be right back. So here's what we've got. No laughing at me. All right, so check this out on Stumpy here. So this is actually what a 2242 looks like. You see how small that is? Comparative to this, right? However, the ports are identical, so they should work. They're cross-compatible. But as you can see, when I insert our card, it doesn't, you can't really attach to anything, so it's just kind of sitting in there. The question is, will it even boot like that? The answer is, we'll find out together. So let me go ahead. I'm going to turn Stumpy around here, and I'm going to get him focused as well as I can on this screen. Now, guys, there is a chance that this is going to work, and that there is a chance that it will not work. So we're going to find out together. Here we go. So I'm going to turn it on. We are getting a blue indication that it is actually turning on, so that's a good thing. And let's see what we get on the screen here. That's a huge sign right there. There we go. Now, will it boot into our Batacera? That's the question. Here we go. Get this out of your way. You don't need to look at me twice. That's horrible. And there it goes. Okay, so it is booting in normally. Now, I will tell you from my personal experience that initial little start from the time it starts Batacera to here, that was about 30% faster. I don't know why, because the truth is it shouldn't matter, but we're going to find out. So far, so good. We're going to find out. Oh, there is something neat, guys. I don't know if you can see this on the main camera, and I'll show you in a little bit. There's a blue light around the bottom of this, an LED light that is really cool looking. And I don't know if that is programmable, but we'll find it. Whoa, look how fast it ran through that. And do we have audio? Yes, we do. Now, I want to show you guys something while we're here, because every time we change out one of these systems, or if you ever get one of these and you're changing TVs, one of the things about Batocera, if you're actually in Batocera but you're not getting audio, I'm going to move my controller right in front here so you can see. All right, so you're going to hit your start button from the main menu. You're going to go down to system settings, all right? And what you're going to do is look for audio output right there. Go into the audio output, and you'll see that it will give you a list of available audio outputs. Typically, you're going to want to go from the HDMI port. This is for the analog if you want to run out of the headset. But for most TVs, this is what it's going to be. You may have a couple options in there. If the one you're using, it has no audio, switch it to one of the other ones, come back to it. All right, look, we're not going to waste time. We know what game drags the systems down. And I still have it installed on here. We're going to go to Xbox, and we're going to launch Jet Set Radio Future. If this game is running full speed, and this is a fast game, then we'll know we've got a winner. So let's take a look and see what we're actually getting here. By the way, this does come prepackaged with Windows 11 on this disk. So that is actually kind of a nice thing too. And the difference between running a 2242 and a 2280 as far as the cost goes, it's negligible. There's not that big of it. You're talking like $1 or $2 just to go to the smaller form factor. So not a big deal. So really it's all about performance at this point, guys. That is what we care about. That is what we are testing for. All right, let's take over to Stumpy here, and let's see what we actually get. Graffiti is an art, not vandalism. Okay. All right, well, that's running nicely, but of course it would. Let's go new game. I just want to jump into a game here, guys. I don't know this game at all, but I could tell you that it is loading a ton faster, like a ton. So now we'll talk about where the price is on this in just a second. Hold on. Because you can see, all right. Oh, dude, that is, from my experience, that is running at full speed. Holy cow, is it ever running at full speed. And I am terrible at this game. No laughing at me. I don't even know what I'm doing. Let me go over here and see if I can do a trick. Well, that wasn't exactly the trick I had in mind. But, okay. You get the idea. This is running at full speed on this system. Look at that. See, I told you I can do at least one trick. Get up. Oh, there's a light pole. I knew I could get it. Awesome. Holy cow, guys. Hey, GMKTec, you guys weren't lying. This thing is fast. All right. Now, while we're running it, I want to see. It's not warming up at all, but then again, we're not doing a whole lot that would warm it up yet. So, okay. Let's bust out of this game. And okay, there are a couple other games that we can test. I'm going to be putting some PS3 games on here for testing in the near future. This one will be on the block for a PS3 test. In fact, guys, okay, all right. Total transparency. When I talked to these guys, I really did not expect that system. I was looking for something on the lower end. And they sent me a few different links for these things, which, like 128 gig, the 512s, and then, of course, this monstrosity. This thing is great. I love this. But in the price range on these, you're talking about, if you get them on sale, $200, but you don't have to add anything to it. I mean, right out of the box, you've got a 1 terabyte drive, and you're ready to rock and roll. So you spend, you figure you get one of these things, you're going to spend about $100 for it. Then you're going to end up adding on at least $75 in accessories to get it correct, the where you want it. So really, you're not that far off once you look at what you've got on this one already. Truth be known, this is a very insanely viable option for the top of our list, and I knew it would be. You guys knew it would be. 12 gigs of DDR5, seriously. An Intel N105, we knew this was going to be a beast, and it is. In fact, the dual LAN on it actually intrigues me, because if you go into your start menu and you go down to network settings here, it tells you what your IP address is. But what I'm wondering is if it'll carry 2 IP addresses, which of course it probably will because you've got dual LAN on there. I don't even know if Batocera supports that. That's the craziest thing about it. But obviously this one does. Oh yeah, look, now you all know my Wi-Fi. Ha. So, well, I'll tell you what, guys. Let me clean this up a little bit, and we'll come back and talk about this. I like it. I like it a lot. I really do. Here we go. Guys, you know, every now and then, and this is not only on this channel, but over on my other channel also, you get something that just kind of like knocks you on your butt. You know what I'm saying? And in this game, when I started doing these emulations, of course, everybody knows I started with raspberries. Guys, raspberries are wonderful, but after COVID hit, you couldn't get these anymore for any kind of a reasonable price. I mean, you were paying upwards of $200 for these things back then. That is what sent me down the pathway of looking for an alternative using a mini PC. Now, I have gone through, at this point, at least 50 different mini PCs. Most of them, you guys know, were never filmed because they never got put on the other channel. But from now on, they're all going on this channel. This one blows every one of them out of the water by a mile. I mean, it's not even a close comparison. This compared to that is, you know, Ford and Ferrari. I mean, at the end of the day, that's kind of what you're looking at. These are wonderful. They're bulletproof. They work. This is exceptional. It really is. In fact, with that kind of power and with that kind of speed, I have no doubt that this would be a perfect little miniature desktop to use at your office for standard office work. In fact, I bet you could even do a little light gaming on it. I mean, I obviously wouldn't think AAA titles like Baldur's Gate or anything like that are going to fly on it, but Fortnite, sure. I mean, I really think it'd pull it off without a problem. Guys, I'm going to have a link for that down in the description. I want you to take a look at all of the options they gave me, too, because there's like 3 different options on there. And check them out, because that is stellar. Stellar. In fact, this is going to sit on my stage permanently. You know how my beta box is usually right here? I'm going to be installing and testing on this one from now on, and I'm going to move at some point in the future when the prices move on these a little bit. I'm thinking Prime Day, just saying. I will probably go ahead and start using these for my upper end system. So that becomes a middle end. This becomes an upper end. Great, right? Thank you guys so much for watching. I have a huge one coming up. So you guys remember when the first 3D printers came out and everybody's like, wow, I want to scan something so I can print my kid. Well, guess what we're testing on the next one? I have a Creality 3D scanner, and it's for you guys. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.